You're very welcome back. Now, the smash hit TV show Severance has brought the conversation around work-life balance to the forefront of many minds, with a lot of people struggling to properly disconnect from work.
Here to answer some of your work-related questions that you may be too nervous to ask is work psychologist Patricia Murray. Good morning to you, Patricia.
How are you?
Have you watched Severance?
I have. I love it.
Okay, yeah. So for people who aren't familiar, the premise of this show on Apple TV is you've an innie who works in the office and an outie who is your real life and the person that exists outside of the 9 to 5. And people are seeing there is actually a merit in being severed from your work life, aren't they? That could be of benefit.
They are. Of course, it's an entertainment piece, but I mean, it's exaggerating what the reality is. And it's got a lot of irony in it. It's a show that really says, I suppose, existentially, we have a workplace self, and then we have a home self, and the two shall never really properly meet. They have to be divided. Whereas for the rest of us, the two meet all the time. Yeah. They meet on the way to work. They meet, when we have friendships at work. And there's never a complete boundary between work and home in our real lives. Yeah. But I think Severance brings up some really interesting points about institutionalisation, thinking outside the box, being a company person or not, having a home life versus a work life. Very interesting things.
We're hearing an awful lot more about work life balance, and people feel that they don't have it right, and people want to be able to completely separate. But 56% of respondents said that they still answer emails out of office hours. So what do you feel a healthy work-life balance looks like?
OK, this is a huge question, and I suppose I'm coming at it from a kind of psychologist, obviously, perspective and a psychoanalytic kind of framework, which is the frame I bring to things. The first thing is, this term work-life balance is often used, and a lot of people now in psychology kind of avoid it because you have a life balance. You have a family balance, a work balance, a home balance. The idea is to be balanced, and your previous speaker was talking about food balance, So we are responsible for balancing our lives. It's not rocket science. But when we talk about work-life balance, I suppose we're homing in on people who have tended to just work too much. Yeah. Or, overdo the work, or in the beginning maybe overcommit to work because they're proving themselves. And then 5 years in, and I recently had a client at this, 5 years in said, at the outset, I had thought I was just doing this for 6 months. Then it was COVID. Then I was doing it for 2 years. And now I'm doing it for 7 years. Okay. So, people get into bad habits too. But ultimately, people have responsibilities and employers have responsibilities. And we know the employer is responsible to make sure that the person isn't breaching the Working Time Act, isn't overworking, has the right to disconnect, as the legislation brought in here some years ago. And the individual has the responsibility to make sure that they're tending to all of the aspects of their life. Their partner, their children, their parents, their social life, their leisure time, their idleness. Everyone should have a little bit of idleness too in their week.
But it's almost like a badge of honour, maybe for our generation, maybe not the next generation, that busy. You have to be busy. But are sometimes people leaning into that too much because it's an excuse? Because actually they kind of prefer the work aspect of their lives compared to the day-to-day mundanity of the childcare, the lunches, all the rest of it that goes with family life.
Exactly. So you find some couples, and I'm not a couples counsellor, but I have colleagues who are, and they often tell me that some of the issues that are brought up are one party saying he or she just works all the time, and that's great for us because it's a great providing, mechanism, but it's not good now because the kids are a bit older, or we want more time together, or even the children have gone to college and he or she is not there. So you're completely right. Why do people do that? Why do they work all the time? Why, when they're on holidays and they say, I'm going to the pool now, and the partner looks at the pool, they're not at the pool, oh, I just went around the corner to get onto the laptop for a minute, or I was sending a few emails. Like, if you're at the pool or on the holiday, you're supposed to be at the pool on the holiday, not checking up. So the question I ask clients is, why are you doing this? Are you doing it because you really need it in work? Are you doing it because you need to feel that you're needed at work? And you're avoiding something at home, which is the messy emotional business of real-life relationships.
OK, interesting. But it's a habit for a lot of people. How do you break the habit?
Yeah, breaking the habit is hard. And so if your listeners are there thinking, OK, I'm kind of in that zone, I'm there 10 years, I work too much, I work at the weekend, I work in the evenings, but it doesn't really matter because I just slip it in and no one notices. Yeah. First of all, everyone is noticing and people miss you. Okay. So you're worth it. People miss you at home. Your friends miss you. You might be the friend that everyone says, no point asking because they won't come, because they won't finish work until 8. So you're missing out on things first. Second thing is, why are you doing it? A lot of times people are doing it because they're afraid of loneliness. They think, if I don't do this, there's nothing else there to fill the gap. And what will I do? So it's better to face the bit of loneliness that we all face now and then think, what do I like doing? I'm going to have to put something in that place instead of work. So a great idea is Book into something that you like doing that starts at 6:30 or 7, 2 nights a week. So you have to be there. Book into something on a Saturday morning that you like to do, so you have to be there. It could be a walk with friends. It could be something within your family group. But you can't just leave it because it hasn't worked so far. Anyone who's trying to break a habit has usually tried before. So one of the good things is, whether it's smoking or drinking or exercise, put something in place of what you used to do so that you've got it scheduled in. And that way you're helping yourself to break the habit.
One of the common questions that comes up again and again when it comes to the workplace is, how do I ask for more money? Very quickly, in 1 minute, can you give us the main tips for if you are looking to get it?
Asking for anything, folks, you have to forget about yourself. Someone recently said to me, I need to ask for more money because I've got more expenses. Don't mention that. You're asking for more money of some human being. So what does the human being like? Do they like spreadsheets? Do they like things out on paper? Do they like process? Then speak to them in their language. So speak to them when they're in a good mood. Not Monday or Friday, usually middle of the week, 11 o'clock, 11:30, not just before lunch, not when they're in a rush, not in the car park. And then speak to them in their language. Not I need a raise, but listen, this is what I've done so far. This is what I've produced for you. These are the challenges I want to meet for you. The team is doing great. Now, we need to talk a little bit about my reward. I'm sure you agree. Let's put it on the agenda.
Reward, is that the key word, Patricia?
Yeah, it is my reward for work well done.
It's interesting to see that women find this harder than men. Why?
Well, I think maybe women are more relational, excuse me, guys out there, but they maybe think that if I don't get it, it'll affect the relationship. One, I look bad, I'm a bit nervous, or my pride will be hurt asking, and if I don't ask, then I don't know what they're putting my worth at. Whereas men tend to think, it's not personal, I'm just asking for a raise, don't get it, blah. So it's not personal. You make it less personal by saying to the person, this is what I've done, this is what I'm going to do, this is what we and the team are doing, these are my achievements. This is the spreadsheet that you love, because I know you love spreadsheets. And this is the other thing I've left there for you to think about. Now, the reward conversation, when would you like to schedule it? Would it be next week? Maybe what day suits you?
It gets personal, though, if they say, no, you don't deserve that reward.
You know,
and that's where the
best thing to do is, what are you going to do if that happens? What you do is you already have something planned, and your plan is, OK, I understand it. Will you just send me a quick email on the background to that? No problem. When will we meet on it again? Will it be 3 months? Oh, yeah, that's fine. But great. I'll schedule something for the end of May. Then you've got something scheduled in.
Very interesting.
Yeah, makes sense.
Patricia Murray, where can people find you if they want to get some more
info@patriciamurray.ie is my email.
There you have it. Brilliant. Thank you for some wonderful advice this morning. Get in touch with us.
I have to go now. I have to ask for a raise real quick. So let's go to the news.
Leave it for 3 months'
Put my
time.
day rate up. Get to the news.
Coming up next, very shortly, the iconic actor Ricky Tomlinson is going to join us.
Yeah, plus we get a drawing lesson from Marvel's very own comic book artist. We'll see you after the break.